Greetings all, hope all is well. Today I'm back to show just a casual little overview of what all I've got on my PS Vita, how I've got everything set up here. Nothing too in-depth here, I just wanted to show this to a few of my friends, but let's go ahead and get to it. So as you can see, here's the live area. Straight off the bat you see I've got a custom theme. The normal theme's like a bright blue, but Ubuntu, I just like that color scheme, that red and purple. And then as for the bubbles here, each of these bubbles are basically folders. They take up to 10 items, as you can see. So here's your apps. You got YouTube, Netflix, a few of my little tools here. You can get on a web browser and stuff. Yeah, you could even get on Discord. It's a pretty rudimentary version of Discord, but it works. I just think that's cool. Here are a few other tools here. This is the N64 emulator. It's kind of though. We got your homebrew folder. Got a couple versions of Quake, Sonic CD, Shadow Warrior, Half-Life. The Half-Life on here runs spectacular. Like, it surprised the hell out of me how good of a port that is. Of course, you have to have Doom on every fucking device. Alright, so now for the Vita games, again, each of these take 10 items, these bubbles. So I'm just going to count them here. They're all alphabetized, which took forever. But 1, 2, see, that's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So 163 Vita games. Go into the PSP folders, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, okay, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, okay, 100 and, excuse me, 158 PSP games. And then PS1, we got 1, 2, see, that's 50, 56 PS1 games. Now, in addition to that, we've got Retroarch here, which is basically a multi-system emulator. Alright, as you can see, it kind of has a sort of a PSP vibe the way the interface is, which is pretty cool. But it sorts it by system, so you have Atari Lynx, for example. And as you can see, they put the box art and a screenshot on there. It'll actually download that automatically if you don't already have it in. You have Neo Geo, or MAME, but all these are Neo Geo games. TurboGrafx, PC Engine. We got GBA, Game Boy Color, original Game Boy, NES, and Super Nintendo. And you can get more than that. That's just what I have on here. But as you can see, got plenty to work with here. And it will actually tell you the amount of games on the bottom. So for NES, I've got 340 games. And yeah, that's RetroArch. It runs great. I'll go ahead and just play a game real quick to show you how well it runs. Let's do Aria of Sorrow. That's a good one. And you can actually select individual emulators, which one you want to actually run it off of, which is nice. Alright, so here's Castlevania, Aria of Sorrow. Let's go on and turn the volume up. And as you can see, it takes up most of the screen. You got your proper aspect ratio. You can adjust that too. Oops. Go back. Wrong button. So like if I wanted to adjust the video settings, I just go up here. I believe it's right here. Scaling. Let's turn linear filtering off. I don't like that shit anyway. I don't like stuff being blurry. There you go. So this looks much more authentic when you have it set this way. Wrong button. There's not even any screen tearing when you see scrolling either. So it's pretty much one of the best ways to play GBA games without having an actual SP with the better 101 screen or whatever. The buttons are mapped, so like A, B, like on a actual Game Boy. You can actually remap these two though if you wanted. You get the idea. Let's go back to the home screen, play some PS1. Let's do Tekken 3. That's usually... Actually, no, let's do Bloody Roar 2, because that's usually one of the harder games to emulate on any clone system, or really any emulator. Any emulator that's not EPSXE. Gotta love that screen, that boot up screen. Let's use long. While I'm at it, let's also show you how loud this thing can get. This is only halfway up right now. Pretty spunky. I don't know if it's coming through on the camera, or yeah, the camera, but yeah, as you can see, it runs pretty much perfect. Let's turn that down. Perfect, no hiccups, no frame drops, nothing. It just plays like the original. I love it. And if you like the actual PSP interface, you could do that too. So if you don't want to use the home screen for whatever reason, just come here. So yeah, the emulator is called Adrenaline, and as you can see, it is identical to the actual PSP interface. If you were to actually pull out a real PSP. So you see all the PSP games. One reason why I like having these on my home screen instead of going to the actual PSP menu is they are not alphabetized. So as you can see, you got SOCOM and then it goes to Miami Vice, right? But and you have to scroll forever. So you can actually kind of forget what all you have on here if you have a bunch of stuff like I do. There are some plugins on here that I absolutely love. Let's start out with one that affects games. So there is a plugin that will actually make some PSP games run at the Vita's native resolution, which is 2.5 times what the PSP actually does. It'll upscale them. And some of these look absolutely gorgeous when you do that. Let's see, let me try Soul Calibur. Now, it's not spot on, not 100%. There's only a few games that really can take advantage of it without doing something crazy, having crazy glitches or crashing or something, but Soul Calibur is one of the games that's perfectly fine. There's a couple little sprites like on the heads-up display that are missing. You'll see that flicker. But once you're actually playing, it's totally fine. Now, you can actually disable this plugin if you just hold L when you start up the game, and you won't have any of that glitchy, flickering crap there if you don't care to upscale it or whatever. I love this game. It looks gorgeous, too, when you upscale it. You can see no jaggies really anywhere. Frame rate's perfectly smooth. I'm getting my ass handed to me. Yeah, that is Soul Calibur. I just embarrassed myself. Now let's load it up again just so you can see the difference. I'm going to disable that plugin. Still looks good, but as you can see, it's a little bit more jaggy. I don't know if that's really showing on the camera that well, but a little more jaggy, but that's fine. As you can see, more of the heads-up display is now there as well. It's not missing or anything. Alright, next up is kind of quality of life improvements. So this menu right here is not there by default. It's a plug-in to make you have that quick menu, so you can do a quick restart, mobile network, Bluetooth, all that. Now what's cool, really cool, is there's this plug-in called Vita Bright. And by default, this is about as bright as your Vita is going to be, is what I got it set to right now. Well, once I tweak stuff, as you can see now, it's only like less than halfway, and it gets crazy bright. Like, just to show you, yeah, it is insanely bright. Now, you can't do that on the Vita 2000. It's only really affects the OLED screen on the Vita 1000. Let's do something that would show the power of the Vita. Alright, so here is Uncharted. You can see, very pretty. I am getting shot at. Has some motion control aiming too, which is nice. Cool. Yeah. This game is gorgeous, especially on a system that came out in 2011. It's not as powerful as like the Switch, but it's pretty close considering how old this thing is. Another thing you could do too is you can actually control this with a DualShock 3 or 4 controller. If you want to play it on a bigger screen, you can actually stream this to OBS, and there's not really any input lag. I don't feel like showcasing that, but you could look it up. Oh, and you can also play PS4 and PS3 games. You basically just stream them from the console to the Vita, which is cool. So yeah, that about wraps it up. One other thing I wanted to show you is I actually have a Vita 2000 as well. This is basically just like my casual Vita, where I mostly just have your quick pick up and play type stuff for the most part. I got a bunch of PSP stuff on here. The LCD screen still looks very nice. This one's a bit more responsive just because I don't have everything in the kitchen sink on it. I guess let's play a game on here. This is much lighter weight, which is nice. Cool color. Standard micro USB-C, I think. But yeah, unlike the proprietary nonsense on the original. This is a great version of Mortal Kombat 9. Yeah, you get the idea. So yeah, this is a cool little unit to have. I had to have both. This is just a good backup. Easy to carry because it's much lighter weight. And very last thing I want to show you is you can actually take off the frame rate cap on a lot of these games. So like if a game is capped at 30 frames per second, with this plug-in right here, Vita Graphics, you can actually remove that cap. And you can also change the resolution on some games. Some games work better than others, but it's just your mileage may vary scenario. Let's see. Okay, so FPS cap for Wipeout 2048 is set there. So let's close this. I'm going to open up Wipeout 2048, and as you will see, it runs like butter, especially when you overclock it. I'll show you that as well at the same time. All right, so here's Wipeout. The track's about to start. Let's overclock this thing all the way. And here's Wipeout. Nice and smooth. I love this game. And I just hit a wall. Yeah, that is Wipeout. Good stuff. Alright, so I hope you enjoyed seeing this. Hope it was at least a little bit interesting, and well, if not, then I'm sorry I just wasted 10-15 minutes of your life. Until next time, horns up.